And welcome to the next episode of the Sneaks Rhymes and Life podcast. This is Lionel McDonald. So, we are going to talk about Air Max. Yesterday was Air Max Day. Fortunately, I was under the weather, so I did not get a chance to rock a whole bunch of my Air Max. I normally wear multiple pairs on the same day, but I've been celebrating Air Max month. So, I put the reel together. Please have a look at my Instagram, sneaks underscore rhymes underscore life underscore podcast. And you can see the reel that I put together of some of my favorite Air Maxes that are out there. So, what we're going to talk about today, in lieu of Air Max Day, is my favorite Air Max shoes that I have in my collection. Now, I will note right off the hop, I don't have all of them in front of me. I do not have definitely two that are probably in my top 10. I do have a top 10 based on what I have in front of me, but honorable mention that should be in the top 10 Air Max 95 Toronto. Absolutely my second favorite Air Max 95, period. And then the Air Max 1 Atmos. Atmos Pack is the best release that they've done on Air Max Day. Now, some people will say, oh, what about the 1/97 Witherspoon? Or what about the Big Bubble last year? No. Air Max Atmos Pack, hands down, takes me back to the Jumpman Toronto days, or 306 Young, if depending on what you want to call it. Most people call it 306 Young. That's what we should go by. But that was the OG name, and let's stick to that. But that's my favorite Air Max Day release. But let me wind it up and take you through some of the Air Max. So I gave you two that are not here. I'll give you some honorable mentions that are here in front of me. So we will start with this one in my hand, Duck Camo. Now, the concept has been out there forever. It's released several times over the last several years. This is the OG one. They've done other camo ones. Definitely a special one for me. I absolutely love this one. Just the contrast in colors. It's totally dope. Duck Camo, Air Max 90. Next up, for all the Toronto heads, you can't have an Air Max collection without, and yes, the laces are going crazy. If you're watching on YouTube, also available on Google, Spotify, and Apple. But this one is the Air Max 98 Raptor. So you can see the purple, the red with a little bit of white and black. Can't miss. Took the insole out of this one because I could not find my size. Had to go half size smaller, but it still fits. Still rock it. Still amazing. Air Max 98. One of the most underrated Air Max shoes of the Air Max collection on the running side. Speaking of Air Max 95, again, I told you Toronto is in it, but this is a 90. This specific 90 is the Steve Nash 90. Now, this came out mid 2000, I think 2006, 2007. The vibrant colors, all time classic. You get a little Phoenix Suns inspiration. You get the kind of the lumberjack feel because he's Canadian from this shoe. Absolutely amazing. This is a special one for me because my wife has it. Sometimes, in the early days when we were dating, we wear this at the same time. We even took a picture several years ago for Air Max Day before our daughter was born with both of us wearing this. Definitely sentimental moment for me in that one. And then last honorable mention that I have here, the first one I had was the 96 all white because a lot of people had this one, but this is the more up tempo. This is the one that says Air on the side. It's come out like 100 times, highs, lows, different colors, etc., etc. This is the OG one. Scottie Pippen wore it. There's an Olympic version that he wore in the Olympics. The Bulls won a title when he wore this one. All-time classic. Can't go wrong with that one. But let's get into the nitty-gritty of the 10 that I have in front of me here. So, number 10, I'm a huge fan of the Griffey 1. You cannot miss with this particular shoe. This is an all-time classic. I absolutely love this one because of the 4-2 on the side. Yes, I am a huge fan of Jackie Robinson. I rock the 4-2 along with my African medallion and a pair of headphones that are on my chains. But this represents so much to me, particularly because I idolize and love and appreciate everything that has happened with Jackie Robinson and the barriers that he broke. Now, there's other peoples that were along the journey, but Jackie Robinson is the one that's the most recognizable. I may not be playing sports. My daughter may not be playing sports, and many others that I idolize may not be playing sports if it wasn't for what Jackie Robinson does. So this is a special one. There's a dunk, not part of the collection, but a Jackie Robinson dunk. There's going to be a Kobe this year. That is a Dodger blue Kobe. Not saying it's Jackie Robinson, but again, some of the inspo that's behind it. Griffey 1. Number 9 we have is the Air Max 180 basketball worn by Charles Barkley. There were some amazing ads that went along with this shoe. There's the Air Max 180 Ultramarine that has come out in recent years. That gets a lot more press than this. This I've worn for so many years. It's not the OG. It's the first retro, but I love it so. The midsole has changed. That's how much wear it's got. But this one is a special one. Air Max 180. We call Charles Barkley. Still on the Griffey vibe. This is the Griffey Max 1. This is maybe the best color of all. They call it the freshwater. There's another one that's out there. I kind of call it its cousin. And there is a comparison between the two, but I don't really think that they compare at all. It's called the black freshwater. This is the white one. So if you think of the teal and the other colors that were in the jerseys that the Seattle Mariners wore in the 90s, this one hooked up definitely best with the home jersey. The other one best hooked up with the road jersey because that jersey was at times gray or teal. But Ken Griffey, this was his first signature shoe. Although he wore the Diamond Fury before he wore this. My boy Skula, you love to hear that. But freshwater Griffey Max 1, absolutely must have if you love Air Max. So you can see with my Air Max, it isn't all running. A lot of people will talk Air Max and it's a lot of running and nothing else. I am definitely on the basketball cross training vibe. Boom, I'm going to hit you with another one. DT Max, worn by none other than my idol, Deion Sanders. So we got the DT Diamond Turf Trainer. This is the DT Max. This was the second one third one in the collection after DT1 and DT2. This is more the Cowboys vibe. There's like a gray or blue and gray one. There is a white and red one. Still unbelievable that Deion had so many opportunities to sign with teams and teams didn't really sign him, but this is an all-time classic. You know, since he's gone back to Colorado, this has come back in full force. There is the Colorado Home, which is the black and gold. There is the Colorado Away, which is white and black. We call it the Kendrick Lamar to the Young Bucks. People love that shoe. You know, wear that with some stonewashed jeans because Kendrick wore that during the Super Bowl. Don't know if you want to rock the bell bottoms, but that's totally up to you. But Kendrick was wearing this particular model of all models during the Super Bowl. That's what he chose to wear. So salute to Kendrick. Salute to Deion for creating an all-time classic in the cross-training sphere or silo of Nike's Air Max shoes. Can't have a collection of Air Max without this. Orlando Away Penny 1. This may be the best basketball shoe of the Air Max family. It's a toss-up between this and the next one I'm about to show you, and then maybe there's another one. So, yeah, you can see basketball and cross-training are a big part of my Air Max family. All-time classic. This one's come out in triple black, black and red. Orlando Home, which is like all white. It's come out in gray. Just a multitude of colors, but fit, style. Think of the vibe that Penny was on back in those days. You know, the commercials with Chris Rock doing the voice of Little Penny along with Tyra Banks. This was the moment when Nike was literally the kings of marketing. And forget about just in sneakers, better than anyone else in any other genre of anything. You just waited for the next Nike commercial, from Deion to Bo Jackson to Agassi to Jordan. Nike ran commercials. You just waited for the next one. That's number 6. Penny 1. CB Max has to be here. Again, we got two of the Barkley family. This might be the best one. Now, CB Force is another one, the trifecta. That's why you can kind of, between him and Penny, I think Barkley's got the best makeup of basketball shoes between him and Penny. But Penny may have the best shoe. Barkley may have 2, 3, and 4. But this is an absolute unbelievable shoe. It's coming out again this year. Multitude of colors, Phoenix Suns, triple black, black gray, you name it. But this is the one that you got to have. This takes you back to the Barkley days of the 90s when the Suns were making a run to the NBA Finals to play the Bulls. That's 5. Number 4, got to have an Air Max 1 in the collection. I already mentioned the Atmos, but this is the Pata version of the Air Max 1 with the red. You can't go wrong with this one. This is classic. Pata did this one up. Super special. Capturing that gray in it with all the white mesh in it. Absolute classic. Number 4 on the spot. Can't be a Toronto man's without an Air Max 90. This is the, if you're watching on YouTube, I'm sure that color is jumping off the page on you. This one is none other than the infrared 90. This is the Air Max 90 of all 90s. Triple black. Toronto mans, we love triple black. We love triple black anything. But this one is the best Air Max 90 out there. It's the most classic. People go crazy every single time that it launches. In my opinion, the second best Air Max, period, of all Air Max, hands down. Now, I have a love affair with this. This is number 2. This, to me, is a top 5 basketball shoe all time and a top 2 Air Max, period. This was brought to life by a variety of different people, including Kevin Garnett. And I will shout out the guys from the University of Arizona, Mike Bibby and Miles Simon, who wore this in the NCAA tournament back in 95 when this shoe was just about to jump off. Many people wore this, including, I think even Kobe Bryant wore this shoe. I think Ray Allen wore this shoe at some point between UConn and playing in the NBA. The Air Max 95 up-tempo. OG colors, white, black, and a little bit of mystic blue, I believe is the color that they call it. Absolute all-time classic when you look at this model. It is clean, shorts, on-court, off-court, jeans, big leg, skinny leg, roll them up with your tech fleece pant. It don't matter. This is, when we say this is the one, now there's the Pippen one, there's the one with the blue. When we talk about the one, this is the one. All-time classic. And I've said that a more time, but this is really the one. Pippen wore this. Like, you name an NBA player that played in the 90s that wore this shoe, they will tell you that there is no Air Max basketball shoe that fit better than this. Personal favorite. Glad to have it in the collection. And I have it in mad colors. I have it in white, black, and blue. I have the Pippen one. I have this one. I have the Spurs one. I think I got a triple black one. I think I got a black with patent leather, or at least I wish I bought that one. I think I balked on that multiple years ago. Regret it to this day. But the OG white, black, mystic blue is the greatest Nike basketball shoe not named Jordan, in my opinion. It's better than Penny, better than any Barkley. This is the one. It fits like a glove. It feels like you're walking on clouds. Between this and then the C Web, they were like the first 2 basketball shoes that use air all the way through. I think C Web was first. It was the first $200 shoe. This was second. And it totally changed the game about how people felt about putting big cushion in a shoe. Before, people didn't want it. Jordan was using Zoom cushion. People didn't think you could put a cushion. Penny, here we got the Penny here. Zoom in the front. Penny was a different type of player. Air Max in the back. Here we had Barkley, not really any cushion in the front, but we ran Air Max in the back. This Air Max Up Tempo was the first one that ran it toes to heel all the way through. When I tell you it's a classic, it is once revered is one of the great basketball shoes, but the street cred that this shoe has is undeniable. On Foot Locker, this only launched. This is a general release, light in many cases. It wasn't quite went to everywhere, but enough places had it. It's not available anywhere. It's gone. We're talking about just a run-of-the-mill basketball shoe. So you think. But that is the cultural impact and influence of this shoe. Come summertime, Madman's is going to be wearing this with shorts on the streets of Toronto, on the streets of New York, in LA, in Chicago, in Miami, you name it, it's going to be rocked. But this is an all-time classic. If you can get your hands on this anywhere close to retail, you should be copping this shoe. Air Max Up Tempo 95. Now, staying on the 95 vibe, because 95 is arguably one of the most important years in culture, music, hip hop, and sports. 95 might have had the best NBA draft because you had Kobe, Kevin Garnett, Steve Nash, Ray Allen, Sharif Abdul-Rahim, amongst others. Throw in AI, throw in Stephon Marbury. That is all one draft class. Then you throw in the music that happened in 95. In 95, we got Cuban Links, aka the Purple Tape. We also got we got the sophomore effort from Mobb Deep. We got The Infamous, and those are two of the best albums we've ever heard. Plus we got GZA, plus we got ODB, and the list is endless. We're gonna have to get into a whole thing later on this year. Waiting for my man, my boy out of California, the Wax Curator. We're gonna dive deep into 95, and we might have to dive in deep into what is the best year of hip hop, period. Because we talked about 93, we talked about 94. We give our props and salutes to obviously the year that was 88. People are now coming at me and telling me 98 needs to be mentioned when we talk about the best year. But from a street style, Raekwon even wore this ice cream video. This is the joint it was wearing. So I've been told those that are not watching on YouTube what shoe this is. This is the OG neon Air Max running shoe. All time best Air Max there ever was. The colors, it totally changed the game. It was bold. It was different. This is a gradiated gray. We've never seen it on any type of upper before then, and then only imitators and biters have tried to now do it since then. Tried to take a model, and we look at the other ones that we have here. We got Air Max 90. We got Air Max 1. If I had the Air Max 93, it doesn't look like this. They went bolder again with the 97, and you see, I got no love for the Air Max 97 at all. It's the most overrated Air Max shoe there is. I think I had in my bag, I had the Air Max 98, which I love better than the 97. The silver joint, people talk about this silver bullet. It's uncomfortable. It's narrow. I don't like it. I'm being honest, keeping it 100 and a buck with all of y'all. But the Air Max 95 running shoe, and specifically the neon, is the greatest Air Max shoe we have ever seen of all time. If you love Air Max, you got to have this. They're going to launch this in a special way this year. Big bubble OG like the old days. But it's going to be limited. It's going to be hard to get your hands on. People are going to get upset. The rumor is, though, come next year, very similar to what happened in 95, they make the shoe again in a slightly different silhouette with, this is like the one from 2020 or like 2013. This one is the slim down version of the Air Max Bubble. So this one will also be available in many regards to people next year. The real heads are the ones that are going to pay money for it, will be the ones that get this in future years, or get this one this year. Next year will be the one that other people get, kind of looking like this one. But it's a special shoe, and this is why they're going to do it this way. But Air Max 95 is the greatest Air Max shoe of all time. The running one, and again, Air Max 95, period, runs the game when we talk about Air Max running shoes. Uptempo is number 2, and in my opinion, the Air Max running shoe, Neon OG, is number 1. But that's my Air Max collection. Those are the ones that I will show you today. Again, special honorable mention, Air Max 95, Toronto, that was also on my list, and the Atmos is also another one. So giving you a plethora, but you've got Air Max training, you've gotten basketball, and you've got a sprinkle of running. You've got like literally 3 running, and then you got 4 basketball, and you got 3 training. So a lot of a mix of a lot of different things. Some people would make a list and it would only be running. It probably only be like 3 shoes, but that's what we got. That's how I roll. This is the way that I see Air Max from my lens. So thank you for listening. That Sneaks Rhymes in Life, my Air Max Day rendition. Appreciate y'all listening. Catch you on the next episode.